preparation started 12 months before the transaction with the business plan and the business model, and RSM were absolutely crucial to our preparation in that phase.
We met with RSM a few months before we formally engaged them. We discussed the growth plan for the business and the types of information they would require. The management team then used the time before we formally commenced to prepare the information and formulate the plan.
We proactively started preparing ourselves 12 to 18 months before it happened. I always had a feeling that a transaction would happen at some point, as we had a niche business in a niche sector.
When we started working with RSM, we quickly realised that the business was not ready for a transaction. During the preparation process, we learnt what buyers would be looking for when evaluating the business and what we needed to do to maximise value. We recognised the importance of recurring income, which was a big revelation and something we previously hadn't considered a top priority. And as part of the preparation, we hired a third party to perform a rebranding exercise. And we also brought in a firm to do a commercial review of the market and our position in it. And the buyer actually later came to rely on this report.
The key discovery in the preparation process was two things. The first one was having a desired outcome that's agreed at that stage is really important. The second part is the level of data required to go through a transaction such as this is large, and actually the preparation part is making sure that the data is tidy before you actually go into the process.
During the process, we realised some of the information was not easy to obtain from our systems, and it was good to have the time to do so. In addition, the way we approach forecasting as a business was very different to that required for a transaction, and it took several attempts to get it right.
The biggest benefit of being prepared was that it helped to keep us calm, hold our nerve when things got tough. We were confident that our business was great and that we had confidence we could pull together the information requested because we were organised.
The single biggest benefit of preparing actually happens before you're talking to investors. It's knowing what you want to achieve from the transaction from all parties. When you get that absolutely clear, it makes the whole process so much easier.
Being prepared in advance of going to market meant we had all the information ready for due diligence. We went through the process during lockdown, and being able to move through DD quickly meant we completed before there was any material impact on the business or valuation. Part of the preparation we'd done with RSM involved finding the right team to take over the operational running of the business. I and another shareholder took a step back, and I became chairman. That allowed me to leave the day-to-day running of the business to the team so I could focus on the deal.
I managed most of the process with the help from my CFO. We had 3 other members of the management team involved in the transaction. I was conscious to minimise their involvement to avoid too much distraction.
Fortunately, I had a team around me that took care of the day-to-day running of the business while I dedicated my time to the process.
There's nothing major that I would change, but thinking about small things, I'd like to think that I would look after myself better during the process. There's plenty of early mornings and late nights spent working.
One thing I would have done differently is to start preparing even earlier. The more you can do at your own pace, the more you are prepared and the less stress you are under when things go live.
I think if I was doing it again, I would have had my accounts audited before going into such a process. There wasn't a statutory requirement on us to be audited for the size of company that we were, but it would have made the process and the due diligence a lot easier.
Best piece of advice I would give is prepare, prepare and prepare some more. Time in preparation will make the whole process so much easier. Secondly, take lots of advice. Talk to your own advisors, but also talk to your network and people who've been through the process before.
Advice I would have for other shareholders is to put in place a team that can run the business without you. That allowed me to focus on the deal, and post-completion allowed me to walk away easily.
My best pieces of advice would be, number 1, it's not all about the money. Number 2, value and reward your people. They helped you get to this point. Number 3, be open and transparent. And number 4, don't let perfection get in the way of a good job.